Hi everybody! Happy Monday. Today we're talking about brushes, specifically liners. If you know anything about Kokoist brushes, you know that they are super high quality, calligraphy grade, handmade in Japan, really, really beautiful brushes, great investments for your kit. But we've got a lot, and we got a lot of people going, okay, what's the difference between this liner brush, that liner brush? Why do we have so many to choose from? And I'm here to answer that question for you. So we have 5 liner brushes in the Kokoist Kumano Fude brush collection. I'm going to show them all to you guys, paint a little something on a swatch so you can see the differences, and tell you why I might reach for one versus the other. All right, so here are the 5 besties, the 5 liner brushes that are available in the Kokoist line. We've got from kind of smallest to longest here. So we have first the thin liner brush, the needle liner brush, the short liner brush, the long liner brush, my favorite, and the longer skinny liner. So first is the thin liner brush. This is a very, very tiny, very, very fine brush. This is the smallest brush we have in the collection. It's quite short and the bristles are super duper fine. This is really great for really little intricate details or for doing very, very tiny, tiny little accents. Next is the needle liner. This one is a little bit longer than that thin liner brush, kind of an in-between of this one and the next, the short liner. It's a little bit longer and it's quite fine. This is one that I very often recommend for people if you're doing things like anime style designs where you're looking to do very small, very fine line work. This is the brush that I would recommend for you. Next is the short liner brush. So this one is a little bit thicker than that needle liner brush. It is the same length as that needle liner brush, but it has just more bristles to it. So it'll hold a little bit more product for you. So if you're looking to use a shorter liner brush, but you want it to hold a little bit more product, then the short liner brush is going to be your new bestie. Now the long liner brush is definitely my right hand. She is that very happy medium long length. This is really, really great for line work. You can get in and do very fine line work with it as well. This is kind of my secret weapon when it comes to pulling really good straight lines because it holds its shape really nicely. It's nice and bouncy, but it's very much kind of the everyman, the one size fits all kind of does everything for you liner brush. This is the one that I always recommend when I'm telling people to shop for kind of their first liner brush. This is definitely my go-to girly. And then finally we have the longer skinny liner, which is a very long brush. We had a call for people asking for a brush that was a little bit longer than the long liner brush. Maybe you do a lot of long nails and you need to pull some really long lines, or if this is just a shape that you are accustomed to. It is very long, it's very skinny, so you can still pull really, really beautiful thin lines with it. It just gives you a little bit more kind of surface area to work with. Now to compare, we have the long liner on the left and the longer skinny liner on the right. And then to compare the 3 shorter ones here, we've got the thin liner on the left, the needle liner in the middle, and the short liner on the right. Now just over top of Nail Thoughts 100% Cotton here, I'm just going to pull a couple lines so you guys can see a little bit of a difference in application. This is the thin liner, this one here, and I've just got some blackest black on it. And you'll see that it's got enough body to it that you can still create slightly thicker lines, but if you use a really light hand, you can still get very fine lines with it, and it allows you a little bit more fullness and a little more control with the length. Next up, the needle liner, this very, very tiny one. You'll find that it does not pick up much product at all because it does not have a lot of density to it, not very many fibers, but you can see the kind of whiskery nature of the lines that you can create. Even if I apply a lot more pressure, it's still going to create very, very fine lines for you and it won't give you much fullness. So this is why this one's really great for things like outlining. So next is the short liner brush. Now this one has the same length as that needle liner brush, but more density. So you can still pull pretty fine lines, but you'll notice that your line work will be a little thicker, especially if you add a little more weight to it because it's got more bristles going on. You're going to have a little bit more color deposition there. The long liner brush. This is definitely my secret weapon when it comes to doing straighter lines. You can apply a lot of light pressure, and because it's still on a thinner side, you can get pretty light lines, but very helpful for pulling longer shapes. And if you apply more pressure, you will get thicker lines Obviously, you can apply more product as well. This brush will hold a good amount of product. This one's also really great if you have a little bit of a bead on the end of your brush. You can use it to create really cool kind of thick and thin nuanced lines that are very trendy. Last but not least here, the big girl, the longer skinny liner. We've got a nice long, very fine brush, so it's really nice for pulling really nice long even lines, especially down long nails. You can create very good tension on this brush, and it's got a nice amount of bounce, so you can create really nice long lines with it without worrying about it skipping too much or creating an uneven kind of line value. You can add a little bit more product to it and achieve a longer line as well, while keeping that line pretty thick. And it'll give you a little bit of a taper off, which is really pretty as well. But I really like this one for pulling very nice long lines, even like very, very straight ones. Because of the length of the brush, you can use that length and create longer lines. Added side note here, please don't forget, if you are investing in high quality brushes, you really want to make sure you are taking good care of them. And I, for that, recommend the brush cleaning gel. This gel helps to clean out any residual gel from your brush, helps to keep the bristles maintained and conditioned, and has no photo initiators, which means it will not cure and ruin your brush. If you've used this before and you have some in your brush and you haven't used it for a while, you may notice that it gets a little bit stiff. That's okay. Just add a little bit more brush cleaning gel, work it in, it'll wake right back up. So there you go, a little bit more liner brush info for you. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, we have our cute little comment section right down below. Drop your questions in there. We'll do our very best to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you for tuning in. Stay busy, stay inspired, and we'll see you right back here in another 7 days for another episode of Monday Masters. Take care.